What is up, guys? My name is Guillaume, this is Thomann's Guitars and Basses, and in today's episode of Hit the Tone, we're covering Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. What's up, guys? I hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to this new episode of Hit the Tone on Thomann's Guitars and Basses. Today, I'm not going to waste any of your time introducing the artist or the guitar setup, really. If you're familiar with Jimi Hendrix to any sort of extent, it's gotta be a Strat. He was using Strats throughout, with some exceptions with like SGs and some Les Pauls here and there, but mostly Fender Strats. I usually tell you whatever single coil equipped guitar will work. It is true. If you have a single guitar, whatever the brand of guitar, it kind of works. But yeah, it's Jimi. So today I'm going to be playing my Strat. This is a 62 reissue by the custom shop. The year really doesn't matter. He used a bunch of different guitars, different years throughout the 60s. So, you know, that's about as specific as you're gonna go for that one. Let's just go onto our amp and pedal setup. Now that one's a little bit more interesting, at least today, because I made some editorial choices that may not agree with all of you guys. Obviously, Jimi was using Marshall amps, Plexi, modified Plexis mostly, into a bunch of 412s, basically. I have covered a bunch of Jimi on the channel with our mini Plexi, Studio Mini Plexi. You've seen it a lot. And I'm always happy with the result, but it's always kind of missing something. And, you know, it's hard to compensate for a small amp going into a small cab and try and emulate several big amps going into several big cabs. So I thought I'll try something different today. I'm running into the Fender Blues Deluxe clean as a pedal platform with just a little bit of reverb. You'll have the controls somewhere. And I'm going to be using pedals to Marshallize that sound, namely the J-Rocket 45 caliber, which is a JTM 45 in a box type of thing. Fairly generous on the gain. I would say that this is you'll hear it without the fuzz. It is a good sort of Jimi rhythm type of sound, just to, you know, change that EQ and make it a little bit more mid-focused, a little bit more Marshall-y, a little bit gainier as well, obviously, as if you know, just absolutely crank a Plexi, basically. In front of that, I'm going to be using the Beatronics Octahive, which is an octave fuzz pedal, higher octave. It is one of several options. It is potentially my favorite, but obviously you could use a separate dedicated fuzz face type of circuit with an Octavia pedal in front of it. This is closer to Jimi's rig. That being said, I think that pedal does a phenomenal job at that kind of sound. So you want to use it with the octave up during the intro of the song and then take that octave up out for the verse, which is what I'll be doing. So I'll play the guitar straight into the amp so that you can have an idea of like the EQ for that pedal platform type of thing. Then I'll turn on the 45 cal and then I'll turn on the Octahive. Digging it! Absolutely loving that sound. The octave up just brings something else, and you'll see as soon as you start going into leads, swapping to that neck pickup position, it's just something else. I love that sound. I think it's close enough. I'm not saying this is Jimi's sound. I am never saying this is Jimi's sound. No one will ever sound like Jimi, But this is a very good place to be to sort of, be in that ballpark and start covering some Jimi. So, with that said, let's go on the final part of that video, which as usual is the most important and is how to play the song. Now, as usual, before we start, please check out the link in the description down below if you want to see what gear I'm using, have some links, have some alternatives as well. I also want to mention that I probably chose the one Jimi song that's not in E flat. So you do want to be tuned in E standard, at least for the recorded version of that song. Then live, he played it in E flat as well. That's a big Jimi thing. Like a lot of his songs were tuned down half a step, basically. So keep that in mind if you want to learn more of his songs, if you want to check out the other Jimi videos that I've done on Hit the Tone. But for this one, E standard, and let's have a closer look at how to play it exactly. Now, I think it's a fairly accessible Jimi song. It's exactly what he did. Like his way to blend lead guitar playing with chord works and the very sort of specific way that he had to phrase his bar chords and thumb the low E string like that. It's probably everything you need to know about Jimi is in that intro and that like going into the verse, and then you can start improvising. It just goes everywhere and it's beautiful and it's massive and I love it. I don't think it's particularly complicated. You do want to make sure that you kind of get the feel right, because that's a big part of it. Depending on how you're going to play and the attitude that you're going to play, that you're going to put in your playing, it's going to sound drastically different. You want to have it about as relaxed as you can possibly have it. Like if you see him live, he was basically just like raking the strings and being so loose but so accurate and precise at the same time. And just there was an intensity to his playing that's so hard, just impossible really to replicate. But that's the thing that I would focus on the most. Once you've learned the notes, the actual progression, and I hope that this video helped. The most work you're gonna have to put in is just that attitude and bring the energy that needs to be within that riff to make it sound just about right. But with that said, I think that's it, guys. You have all the tools you need to hit the tone on Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. As usual, I hope that video was useful. I hope that maybe you've learned something today, and if so, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on what's coming next. I wish you all a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Monday in a new episode of Hit the Tone. Take care. Peace.